And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Troy David Phillips here at Flashback Comics in Woodbridge, Virginia. Today, my spotlight is going to be on the character Elektra. Elektra, as you may know, is going to be appearing in the Netflix original series Daredevil. This will be the second season of Daredevil. And Elektra, character created by Frank Miller in the pages of Daredevil 168, is a character with whom Daredevil shares a very rich and complicated history. Now, in Elektra's introduction, she comes off to Daredevil rather antagonistically, but it's revealed that they knew each other. They had a romance in college. Elektra and Matt dated surreptitiously, and Matt, with Elektra, saw the death of Elektra's father. The death of her father caused Elektra to lose faith in the criminal justice system and lose faith in a lot of things, actually. Elektra would disappear and attempt to join an organization called the Chaste. The Chaste were led by Daredevil's old mentor, Stick, but Elektra failed to pass the tests. She was too full of anger and hatred, and Stick cast her out. Feeling despondent, Elektra moved on and joined an organization called the Hand. Now, the Hand is a secretive organization of ninja assassins steeped deeply in Oriental mysticism, in dark and supernatural elements, not least of which was resurrection, and we'll come back to that point before we're all done. Elektra, working for the Hand, committed several assassinations, eventually coming back to the United States, where she would cross paths with her former love interest, Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. Elektra found herself in the employ of the Kingpin, and the Kingpin was only too willing to use Elektra against Daredevil. Elektra and Daredevil met off and on, but as the story unfolded, Elektra became less antagonistic to Daredevil. Her love began to resurface, and she found herself not completing an assignment, not killing Foggy Nelson, and being turned on by the Kingpin, who set his other assassin, Bullseye, up against her. Now, in the pages of Daredevil 181, Elektra fought Bullseye. It was a pitched back and forth battle, but ultimately, Bullseye proved the superior foe that day. Bullseye killed Elektra, and she was able to stagger into the arms of Matt Murdock, where she then died, and she was buried, but the Hand dug her body up. The Hand set about a secret ritual to resurrect her, but this ritual was interrupted by Matt Murdock and surviving members of the Chaste, and the Black Widow, another former interest of Daredevil. His life is really complicated sometimes. In any event, Elektra underwent the ritual for resurrection. This ritual was interrupted, but Matt was able to complete the ritual and purify her, cleanse her of her anger, cleanse her of her hatred, and so she disappeared, Matt not knowing that she was still alive, where she was able to complete the trials that she was originally unable to complete with the Chaste, and was seen clad in a white costume as opposed to her traditional red. At the end of this story, that was the last we saw of Elektra. This was 1982, and we did not see Elektra again for quite some time. But she did return to us in the pages of an original graphic novel, Frank Miller, Lynn Varley, Elektra Lives Again. Now, while this story reintroduced us to Elektra, it was not considered an in-canon story. In this story, Elektra returns to fight Bullseye and kills Bullseye, which had no bearing on the standard continuity at that time. We would see Bullseye in the pages of Captain America in the Streets of Poison storyline. In any event, Elektra went on from that graphic novel to headline a series of her own. She was brought into Wolverine's continuity, actually, as a supporting character in the pages of Wolverine, and kind of continued back and forth. She was a bit of a tweener. Sometimes antagonistic, sometimes the protagonist. Generally speaking, a sympathetic character. I also want to mention at this moment in time the Frank Miller, Bill Sienkiewicz Elektra Assassin series. Now, if you had been reading the Daredevil series, Elektra Assassin was somewhat of a inserted prequel. That is to say that these stories took place before her death at the hands of Bullseye, before her purification, her resurrection, and we saw also the introduction of the character Garrett that you may remember from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. television series. In any event, That is the basic background to Elektra. You're going to see some of that undoubtedly in the upcoming season 2 of Daredevil. You're going to see a lot of things in Daredevil. I strenuously recommend checking it out. I'm Troy David Phillips. You're here at Flashback Comics, and when you have Elektra questions, come in and ask me, and I will tell you everything you need to know.